Hi guys, afternoon. Right, so let me put those there so you know what we're using today. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Thank you so much for joining me again on Crafting Together All Brands. To you guys that turn up every week, thank you so much. Are you just gluttons for punishment? You know, that's what I'm wondering. But if you are, thank you anyway. Right, so I found you. So when you arrive, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, give us, you know, just a wave so I know you're here. Right. So Bev has a new toy again, and you know I like to share it with you when I get something new to play with. And my new to play with thing today, which is very exciting, is my Dina Wakley Scribble Sticks. Okay, so these are brand new for me yesterday, but obviously I did have other things on yesterday that I did do. Hi Adam, my little birthday twin. So yeah, so basically, like I said, I was a bit busy yesterday, but I got some lovely new scribble sticks to play with. So last night, while I was watching another live on Facebook, I had Ems on the TV, and then there was me playing with my scribble sticks, trying to get something done. And I have to say, you having a new toy, but I can't help it. But doesn't it feel good that you know we are all in this same sort of addiction together, which is nice. Right, so I had a little play with my scribble sticks last night, my very first play with them, what have you, and I made this tag using the scribble sticks to do the background, and then I stamped on in archival, whatever, and I am really happy with it. It's just a really fun sort of tag that was just fun to make, and it's a lot. I have to say, tags, as you might or might not know, are one of my favourite ways to play with new techniques or a new product, so that you can see what it does, which is one of my favourite things to do anyway, playing with a new product. Absolutely fantastic. So, if you haven't seen scribble sticks before, because this is what I like to do on our Wednesdays together. Sometimes it's just a project start to finish, sometimes it's play with a technique, play with a different product or whatever, and this is a new product for me. I thought, we'll have a play with it, why not? So we are going to have a play with the scribble sticks. Now, so this is there's 3 sets, and this is one of them. I can't remember which one. It's the one with the white in. That's all I'm going to tell you. And so I've been doing a little bit of a look. Now, they might look like crayons, but they're not crayons at all, okay? They don't have wax in them. They are... I'll turn it off so you can see all the colours. They are a pigment stick, okay? So they're just a pigment stick that you can do so much with. So for example, so they're not crayons because they have no wax in them at all, okay? They're also nothing like distress crayons. So for example, if I'm going to take the lime, you can see most of them are still quite new and pointy. But that being said, I have been using the sides of the ones I have used so that they stay pointy. I know, right? So, if you go around in a circle, if you were to do that with a distress crayon, for example, okay, you could then smudge it out with your finger. As you can see, that does not work, okay, with these. But they are water soluble and then will just fly. So now this is an unprimed surface, okay? So what you will find is, if you then move the colour out, you'll see it start to come out, but you will still have the lines. And now, in fairness, I quite like the lines. So for example, let me just get another one. So if I was to use, say, the magenta, right, and then, okay, so you get the magenta start to come out, but you still have the lines, well, again, which I really like, to be honest. I think they're quite fun, they'd be quite cool in your art journal and what have you. But if you don't want them, it is set 1. If you don't want those, it is just prime the surface, okay? Prime the surface, use your gesso or anything like that, and then you won't get it. That being said, see, and this is because I've been listening to Dina, right? If you get your scribble stick and really sort of whack some colour on there. Don't, with a lot of, I think, Dina's and Diane's products, they're fantastic. You can't use them and keep them. Do you know what I mean? It is one of those, if you want to use them, then you're going to have to use them. See, in fairness, I still haven't used as much as she does. Okay? Because it's an unprimed surface, right? But one of the really cool things about them is if you are to go, I'm just going to go to a page I did. I'm sure it was with you guys. It might have been on the other one, I'm sorry. So, I can't find it now. Okay. So this page, okay. So this is gloss sprays and things like this on here, okay? So this is acrylic. So, for example, if you try and watercolour on this, it's going to bead, nothing's going to work and whatever. But if you then wanted to say, right, well, actually, I would like some, and this is me taking a risk because I really, really like this page, I have to say. I want some magenta circles here. They will go on top of your acrylic. Okay, and you can leave them sketched on there like a pencil, or you can then watercolour them out because they are an acrylic pigment. Okay, so they will go on top of your acrylic paint. You can work on top of your acrylic paint with them, and that is just ace, I think. I'm very impressed. Right, so like I say, this is just a couple of things, so much that I've done with them, because they're really, really cool. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a play. They will also, sorry, let me just grab my journal back. Will also, let me use this one here. Oh, sorry. See, you're a bit lower down than normal. I adjusted my Dubray phone holder for my tablet the other day, and I haven't moved it back. Right, actually, I'll change my colour. I'll go back to the magenta. Okay, so I need to start using a different colour than magenta then, because that's going to wear out quick. Oh, shall I use I'll use a night or a sky. Okay, so this is the sort of like the, what do they refer to it? I think it's more of like a linen, but they call it a canvas. When I think of canvas, I think of something, I don't know. But no, I suppose it is a canvas. It is a canvas, yeah. So you take your scribble stick. So this is the night, all right? And then you can draw on the canvas if you wanted to. Let me just draw a little heart there. And the nice thing is you could keep it as a pencil sort of drawing, which again, I actually really like, and I think it will work with your art journaling really, really well. Okay, but what you can also do is you can water it out on the canvas as well. Again, how much it waters out and what the lines leave will depend on if you have primed the surface and how much of the pigment you scribble in. I still think I'm being, if I want a better description, a bit tight with it, and I'm not using enough of the pigment. And that's why I'm still getting a bit of lines. But if you don't want any lines at all, make sure you prime your surface, and that's the easiest way. I'm just going to bring that point down a little. Okay, they do come in a tin. They absolutely do. So you know you have got that. That is quite cool. So that's on the canvas. All right. Which obviously is very, very awesome. This is a double layout I really need to do more to. I was waiting for Sam's star stamps to finish that off. They've now been out for like months and I still haven't finished it off. Right, and then from here, we're going to have yet another play. Alright, so what I'm going to do, on this big tag, I'm going to get, this is a flower from my Doodle Art Butterfly XL set. And it's a really cool flower because it's got like a leaf on it as well, but you don't have to do that, and it's just a bit fun and funky. I'm pretty sure Mum might have cut the leaf off it so that she can straighten the stem if she wants to. I can't remember. She does that though. She does that quite a lot in actual fact. Right, let me just grab, because I don't know if I took acrylic blocks out from yesterday. Yes, I did! I unpacked and everything. Amazing. Right, so will that one fit on there? Yep. So put that on our super skinny slim. Now from here, what I'm going to do is we're going to do a couple of different things with our stamps and our scribble sticks. Okay, so I'm just going to use a mini mister because I want a mist, not big droplets. Okay, I'm going to spritz mist onto my stamp. Now what I might do is give that a wipe off, because let's face it, it's my stamp, so it's not clean. Oh look, it really wasn't either. And I'm planning to scribble onto the stamp, so it would be better if it's clean, wouldn't it? So let me just, I'm going to give that another go actually. I'll just spritz that. So on here, the tag I made last night, I'll tell you while I'm scribbling this one. On this tag here, all I really did last night was just put a couple of scribbles down and just see how they watercoloured out. Now, like I say, on an unprimed surface, you are going to get those lines, which I think really work well if you like that sort of sketchy style. That it works really well, because the beauty of it with the scribble sticks is you can add that then onto a surface that's already had acrylic paint or your gloss sprays or something like that on, so you can still get that sketchy surface that obviously you wouldn't be able to with pencils, because they're not going to go onto your acrylic surface. I've already lost a crown. It's there. Right, so yeah, so all I did, this was the blackberry and then the night, I think, and then you can see I went around the outside of this star with the blackberry and inside these two as well. So I just sort of, I was just playing with them, truth be told. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my mister. Okay, and we're going to mist that over. That's a bit puddly. This is one of these things apparently that you need to learn. It's a practice thing. But the bottom line is, might as well, I think this is a bit wet, might as well practice while you guys are here, so you can see how much learning it takes, really. You know, for all we know, this could work perfectly first time. And then I can say, look, no learning necessary. I'll put a bit of the blackberry in here. I think I spritzed too much, but that's okay. And this is so you can sort of get the effect of watercolouring with not having to watercolour at all. Okay, so it's a stamp, but it's going to look like you've watercoloured it, and that's the point. So we're going to take this and I'm going to go onto my bigger tag, and then we're going to stamp. Oh yeah, I definitely did over water. Stamp, 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 stamp. Oh yeah, you can see there. Look, because you're really starting to get the detail, like the stamp there. I definitely did over water at the top, didn't I? I'm going to go in the middle of this one too. Stamp. So that's quite cool. So you've sort of got this water. I mean, actually, I really like this. It's just not what I intended for the first go, that's all. So I'm just going to lift this sheet on here so I can just heat it without tilting it too much. So yeah, because they are those water-soluble pigments, I mean, that is really cool. I actually really love it. So we're going to stick with this, I think, and keep going, because I really, really like it. Alright. So what was the most recent thing you guys had to play with? Because, you know, You know me, I love something new to play with. And what's really cool about lots of the things I've been getting recently in terms of playing with, they play with things they work with things I already have. So it's not like, you know, it's not replacing anything, it's an additional thing, which is really, really wicked. Because that's what I like. It's one of the reasons I like stamping so much, because you can do so much with it. So when new inks or paint or scribble sticks or things like this become available, you can just sort of find different ways of using it, which is really, really cool. Which is what we want, isn't it? So I'm actually really, really chuffed with that. It's actually worked better. So yeah, I would, if you did want more of this sort of a look, yeah, I would definitely go with less water to start. I did do several spritzes, didn't I? The scribble sticks are much better than Distress Crayon Stevo, so exactly the opposite in actual fact. They are solid. They are solid. See, that's wet there. They are sort of a solid acrylic stick, okay, that is only activated with water. It's water because they're water soluble, okay. So yeah, they're absolutely nothing like a Distress Crayon, and you can't use them in the same way as a Distress Crayon at all, in terms of, you know, mixing them, and like I say, in terms of going onto acrylic as well, they're really usable that way, which is fun. So there we go. Right, what I'm going to do is I might save that for later, something a little bit more similar. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another tag. No, that's too big. I'm going to lose all of the detail. So what about one of these little ones? I'm thinking, yeah, I might do that. Right, so I'm going to use a smaller tag, and I'm going to stamp, or I could use the smaller stamp set altogether. I'm going to use the smaller stamp set altogether, because that was my XL butterfly. Where is my regular size butterfly? Here. Right. I'm going to take off like the smaller version, and we're going to put that in the middle. I have a plan. Right. Now, in fairness, this doesn't have to be on this tag cardstock, but as that's what I've got out, I'll probably use it. Right, so I'm going to use an archival to stamp it in. Go with black soot. Here we go. Could you have a damp wet sponge and push your stamp into it and add the colour? Yeah, I would have thought so. But all I will say is if you then try it and it's too dry, just spritz it again. That's the cool thing, because it is water soluble. If you did try it that way and you're like, oh no, it didn't work because it's not wet enough, you can then spritz it again and carry on that way. So, you know, there is that. I'm sorry, I'm just going to clean this. I don't know why, because I'm stamping in black. Why on earth would I clean it if I'm stamping in black? Tell you what is this, Flev? Your first day? Right, so I'm just going to ink this up with our archival. Alrighty, and I'm going to stamp this flower here. Yeah, the La Lunas, they're so, and like I was saying, look, I'm supposed to use them on that double layout that I've started in my media journal. I just haven't. Haven't got to it. Distracted by other things, you know, scribble sticks. What was my last new thing? Was it the crackling campfire? In fairness, that isn't my only new thing this week either. I also got Distress Grit Paste, which is quite funky. I quite like that. It keeps me out of mischief. What can I say? Right. So from here, I'm going to go in with my scribble stick there, but down the outside. Now, because obviously it's watercolory, it doesn't matter if it stays in the line or out the line. Look at the background it's going on to, you know. So, you know, you don't have to worry about that too much at all, right? And then I'm going to go with the, what was this? The magenta in here, and then I'll go for the blackberry a little on the outside, I think. And then I might put some of the lemon on that leaf. So this is the cool thing, because you can apply it in sort of like a sketchy crayon style, and then because it's totally water soluble, water it out, you're away. It's really, really cool. So it's quite a big brush. That's all right. Go down there. Use, like I said, I quite like these sketchy lines that are left when it's an unprimed surface. I think they just, I don't know, they add sort of that sketchy feel really well that I really like, and I think sort of goes with the doodle art stamps, but I think it also goes with like Dina's style quite well, that sort of sketchy look. And you know, so what you can also do, yes you can, I am getting there, I promise. You can also if you wanted to, for example, paint that image in with a bit more, just with a brush. Why do I keep picking up the pale colours? It'd be much better to pick up bright ones. You can pick up the paint that way. Okay, just straight off your stick. Okay, you can also, really good for this end, let me grab my blackberry again. I will learn the colours, I promise, right? So we're gonna and just flick your paintbrush. I mean, splats have never been so easy. Look at that, that's really, really fine, because my paintbrush isn't wet. You know, it's only a little bit wet. So all you need to do is just back and forth across the end of here. Leaves that end exposed, for want of a better description. But yeah, so this one's actually probably a better way of showing you, because now it's really, really wet, how you can pick up that colour. And look at that, I mean, that is really, really vibrant colour, because, I mean, look, there's just so much colour, because it's a pigment stick, it's not a crayon, it's not a pastel, but you know, you can add more water to that now and pull it out. Okay, now I will say, once it's dry on a unprimed surface, you're sort of stuck. It won't go any further once it's dry on an unprimed surface. If you are working on, say, a gessoed surface, or a surface that's been primed either with acrylic paint or something like that, you are going to get more. Right, now, so this surface is wet now, right? Now, if you wanted to, say, go in and add in scribbles with the blue, it sort of scratches a little bit and it doesn't really add in. Okay, the best thing to do here is take your scribble stick, put it in the water, in your dirty paint water, and just give it a minute. You know, but you're not in a rush. Where are you going? Okay, so we're just, here we go, letting that sort of soften up slightly, and then you can go on and look, and then your blue's coming out more, so it could probably do with a little bit more soaking, but you get my point. You can soak the end of the scribble stick, and then your blue will go directly on top. But you know me in a splat, I mean, that is just worth its blooming weight in gold, that is. Seriously, that's They're worth it for me already. Because I think I might add some lime splats. Or is that taking it too far? You know what? I don't know. I'm going to add them some lime anyway. Oh my gosh. And then over that watercolour background, just blooming fantabulous. Really, really cool. Right. What I do want to try is, and Lou was talking about the lunar stamp, so that's why I'm going to quickly try. Where's this one with the stars on? Because that's the one I want. Here we go. I'm just wondering if I took this and did, because these are more silhouette, like, I'm just wondering how they'll go. So where's my mister? Spray. Oh, I will clean it, actually. Oh, look, they do come clean. This is the problem, you see. I convinced myself that they won't come clean, and that's why I don't clean them. Not quite true, is it? Right, so if I spray that, see, that is really, really wet. I need to do it from further away. Right. Right, and then I'm going to get this one here. The old scribbly scribbles. And a fun fact, did you know that Dina had no idea what to call these? So Tim Holtz named them for her. I mean, teamwork makes the dream work, doesn't it? Oh, wow. The silhouettes, it's almost even better. I'm in love with the scribble sticks. Fantastic. Right, so I'm going to go in here and we're going to cut this out with a little border, because I may, or I may not, watercolour out the rest of the border. Not really sure at this point. It's just, I have to be honest, it's just easy. They're really easy. And I love that. You know, I see some of the projects you guys make on Crafting Together. Like, not just the people that do lives, like you guys that contribute and show us what you make. And they're so detailed and they're so intricate. And if you take, you know, all these beautiful... See, I have Gelato's Jacqueline. I think they're really different because they're just rock hard, basically. They're not that soft at all. But there you are. That's what's cool. Yeah, you guys, honestly, so many of you like do really intricate projects, and I'm that sort of, I want results and I want them now. I really, really, you know, I really appreciate the intricate things that people do. I think it's absolutely outstanding. I just completely lack the capacity. Right, so I think we're going to go on there. Take a little bit more off that, I think. That's really, really cute. I'm going to go in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take... I'm going to give that a heat where I've been adding more and more splats. But like I say, I love stamping because you can do so much with it, because you can heat emboss with it, you can do all this sort of thing. I think what I'm loving about these is you can do so much with them. You know, you can do direct to stamping, you can watercolour your backgrounds on, but you can direct the colour. Okay, so don't get me wrong, I love my gloss sprays and I love dilution sprays and distress oxide sprays, and I like ink. I like ink and paint. I really, really, really do. But I think these, because you can not control the colour, but at least sort of control where it starts. I think is really, really good. And because you get the different effects from... Where's my blackberry? Because you get different effects from applying to an unprimed surface to a primed surface. Obviously, that almost doubles what it can do because you can get twice the effects. So, you know, that's just one of those, isn't it? And then I'm gonna just wash. I'm only doing one sweep with the water because I want to sort of give it a border, but I want to leave that sketch line in. So I'm going to do maybe a little bit more across the top. That's really cute. And then again, I'll give this a bit of a heat. Joe, I like everything. Yes, you do, my duck. I have noticed. But it is one of those, like I say, I have barely scratched the surface so far. This is basically what I've been able to come up with since I got home yesterday evening. And like I say, I was watching... Oh, I've got blue all over my hands. I was watching Jane's live and Emma and playing around in here and all this sort of thing. That is going to have to move because I've put blue on here. So I'm going to probably put that right about there. So it's just a case of, I am sort of regretting, wondering if I should have done the bigger one now. I don't really know. Ah, I can always change it. Okay, so yeah, if I was to put that sort of there. And then I'm going to bring in one of these words. I think we'll go with creativity. And again. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz it again and I'm going to go with the blackberry. Because my thought is, if that ends up too watercoloured, okay, I can always wash it out slightly and then go over it with black and sort of make the blackberry a shadow. So that's quite cool. Yeah, so this, you know, this is an acrylic paint, basically. And then we're just in a stick. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. I might just do one more off there. Let's take that excess off. And then maybe do some extra, just little letters here. See, if I had Sam's handwriting, this is where I might have added some really sort of pretty brush lettering, but I don't. Because her brush lettering will go very, very pretty with the watercolourness of this tag. What's the effect on gloss Yupo card? That's the whole point, Steve-O. So if you're using it on a gloss Yupo card, hang on, let me just get one. Where is one? I have to be honest, just quickly have a look. I am trying to get organised and look at my boxes. It's quite good, isn't it? Thank you very much. Alright, I don't know if I put that in. Oh, but as that's come together so much quicker than I was hoping, I am looking for, oh, there's some alcohol ink cardstock. Here we go, let's try on here. Now, because this is a coated surface, I'm thinking what's going to happen is, because the problem with an uncoated surface is the fibre almost grabs onto some of the pigment and refuses to let it go, okay? But on a primed surface, or if you're working on your acrylic paint, obviously it's not then. Okay, so this should be good. So I'm quite looking forward to this. So if we go with, let's use some other colours. So let's go with, this one might be, yeah, this one's still quite wet on the end, but that's okay. So we'll go with the sky on here, and then this was turquoise on here, and then the night, I think. Absolutely fantastic. And then we'll take our brush. Oh yeah, see? It completely... But like I said, I'm still being too tight with the colours. So yeah, it will completely dissolve because it's sitting on the top. You can see, look, it's just washing off basically. But when that sets, like I say, you can probably reactivate it with water. See, the darker one is actually staying on the alcohol ink cardstock a little bit, isn't it? But you wouldn't see it because of how rich the colour is. So yeah, so that's it on the alcohol ink cardstock. So that's really, really glossy, right? But what I want to have a quick look at is this new wood grain cardstock from Distress. It's sort of got a wood grain, funnily enough. You know, shouldn't come as a shock, I suppose. Right. And in here I do have an umber. So I'm just going to go over here with the umber. Now I'm hoping where I've attached it to the card, the card will have gripped onto it because it's uncoated. And then I'll just water it down into the grain a little bit, which means it'll highlight the wood grain because you'll get those sort of slightly darker bits. Yeah, that's really, really cool. So you can see, so where I've scribbled on and it's attached itself to the wood grain, it's much darker, but the colour you can pull out sort of sinks into the divots. So that's really nice. I really like that. I actually want to add in some turquoise into that, I think, because I think that'll be quite cool. So I'm going to go with that this way, I think. I'm going to take some colour from here and add on the turquoise in this way. Oh yes. Sorry, my TV has just come on really loud in the living room. I'm so sorry if you can hear it. I thought I turned it off when I came in, but it just must have gone to one of those. Gone to sleep and then woke itself up again. Didn't know it could do that. There you go. Right, so that's on the wood grain, which is quite funky. Not really sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but I really like it. Yeah, anyway, so sorry, this is how it's drying. So I force dry it on the alcohol ink cardstock. So yeah, so basically the things we know. Wow, look at what's happened to my hand where that blackberry's gone away. Love it. So the colours are so rich. So I will say what seems to be the problem when I'm not getting the colour I want is I'm just not using enough. Which is fine. Which is fine. You know. It's one of those things, isn't it, when you're playing with a new thing, a new product, and you're like, well, I don't want to use loads of it in case I'm doing it wrong. But yeah, you probably won't get the best out of it until you do. It's one of them, isn't it? Right, so let me just have a quick look, because I've lost that big flower stamp. Tell you what, absolute liability. Can't be trusted. Put things. Never ever say, Bev, I will lend you, because gold only knows where it will end up. It's not that I try, as in, I've sort of tidied my desk. I went with sort of. You know, so how I've managed to lose it is absolutely beyond me. I only have 3 stamp sets out on my desk. The big flower's not here. That's the little one. I was just thinking I might put the big flower on there. But it's gone. So it'll have to be the little one again. Or, oh, I've got doodle like butterfly. Right, so what I could do is, right, I'm going to take the doodle art butterfly, the big one, okay, and again I'm going to spritz, oh there's my big flower, just found it. I'm committed to the butterfly now. Right, I'm going to take the big butterfly. How are we doing for time? Oh, a few minutes. And I'm going to spritz on here. And then again, go in with the blackberry. Now, I don't need to be too worried about this because I'm going to be stamping over the... I'm going to be putting the 3D one over the top. This is just in a sort of... put it down sort of way. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go over this now with the blackberry. I see why, because where I've flicked it and then I hold it in my hand there. And then I'm going to spritz it again before I stamp it. So this is stamping it onto the gloss. So you know. I don't really know what's going to happen here. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Right, so I'm forcing that dry because I don't want it to move too much more. I mean, look at that. Watercolouring the easy way. It is sort of tidy. Okay, so again, so this is on the alcohol ink cardstock, which I'm not going to lie, I generally don't use for alcohol ink. I use it for distress oxides and distress glaze. So yeah, the scribble sticks, definitely. Like I say, if you did miss the beginning, the scribble sticks, they're not crayons, there's no wax, they're not like distress crayons at all, because they're rock hard basically. They don't smudge with your finger like a distress crayon would. They are just a different thing, which is great. I remember when the distressed oxides came out, initially we didn't have them at all because I was worried they were just a product for product's sake. And I don't like that. Oh, before I stick him on, I think we need some more easy splatters. Indeed. Right. So, I might get a very wet paintbrush and do some big ones. Oh yeah, look at that. Woohoo! And then just add in a bit more. Just empty the paintbrush. Excellent. And then so you really could, you know, create some fantastic, I hate to do the thing, but watercolour pictures, because it's not watercolour, it's acrylic. But I'm just going to soak some of that up, otherwise we're going to be here all day. And I don't have all day, and I'm sure you guys don't either. Right. What I did just want to quickly check is, well, I've just managed to get everything dry, is how much this will reactivate on here. It will. Okay, so it will reactivate on the glossy. Oh, can you hear the Tweety birds? Okay, so then I'm going to take my Doodle Art Butterfly and put that on there. Now what I think I'll do later, because I do have to go now, is I'll take some of the small words to go on there, just some little strips, for example, like the ones on the tag where I've got Imagine Something Wonderful. I think something like that will really work on the watercolour tag. It's one of those, I keep saying watercolour, and I probably shouldn't call it that because, like I say, it's acrylic, but you can see why. Okay, so considering, you know, sometimes I struggle to finish one thing in my crafting together with all brands lives on a Wednesday, I think I've done very well. I'm actually quite proud of myself. Alright guys, so let me just lift you down so you can have a quick look, bit of a closer look. So that's the big tag. That's if you use Ranger sizes, that is a number 10 Dilutions tag. Okay, and then this is, I think that's number 8 tag there. And then we've got the piece of alcohol ink cardstock, which is, I think it's the 4 1/4 inch alcohol ink cardstock with the Doodle Art Butterfly on. So I'm so chuffed with that. The way the antenna sort of looks watercoloured and whatever, but I think it would look lovely even just the watercolour butterfly left on the background. So thank you so much for joining me today. That was an absolute blast. I had a blooming whale of a time. And I think I know what I'm doing later this evening as well now. So thank you very much, guys. I will be playing a lot more with the Scribble Sticks, and obviously lots more Ranger products and my own as well. So if you've got any questions or anything you'd like me to cover or anything like that, please let me know. Alright guys, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. And thanks again. Bye.